Hopkins village in southern Belize has readily become an eco-friendly paradise for tourists, both local and international, who would experience the best of both worlds, the warmth of the rainforest and the cool, relaxing sandy beaches along the shores of the Caribbean Sea. That was until recently when the coastline began suffering from an extreme case of erosion. It started just over a week ago, and since then, up to 12 feet of beach has literally disappeared.
Over last week, we had massive beach erosion, and from the looks of it, this has been the worst beach erosion ever. I've spoken to a couple elders, and even up to this morning, I'd expect the oldest woman in Hopkins village. She has experience here and in Newtown, and she's saying that she has never seen such drastic erosion. It has been a situation because the banks it's a bank now and no longer a straight beach. So residents are concerned because in some areas where no trees, they have lost more than I'd say 12 feet of beach.
Many residents have since lost a large chunk of their beachfronts, and the value of their properties has depreciated drastically. For one resort, not only has its picturesque seafront disappeared, but most of its guests ended up cutting their vacations short, while others cancelled when they arrived and saw that there was no beach.
All of a sudden we woke up one day and we had a fence that was about 10 feet away from the water's edge, and we woke up one day and it was underwater. Part of it was underwater. The rest fell in a few days later as the erosion continued. We had some of the most gorgeous beach on the mainland, in fact, and you know, our guests come to swim in the ocean and enjoy the beach. Everybody ended up checking out early or canceling because, you know, we turned from a beach to a cliff overnight.
Panicking, Hopkins chairman Wayne Casimiro and Coconut Rose Damian Grieco, with the assistance of the Belize Tourism Board, called the Department of Environment, who visited the village late last week. They would later be notified that it is the purview of the Lands Department to make recommendations on corrective measures. The erosion, however, has worsened since then, and within 2 days, approximately 4 feet was gone, leaving behind a cliff instead of a beach.
Our business will be out of business unless this is resolved quickly, and that's part of the frustration. You know, a few departmental, I don't know if they're squabbles or you know, environment has control of one part, lands has control of the other, and these things take time, but this is immediate. I mean, we're averaging 2 feet of beach loss a night, and so we'll be underwater pretty soon unless this is resolved.
Aside from environmental conditions such as climate change, it is believed that the unprecedented erosion is the result of a groin built by Hopkins Bay on the north side of the village. Essentially, the man-made hydraulic structure interrupts water flow and limits the movement of sediments, hence creating beach. The controversial groin has been at the center of complaints made by several other properties that have also lost a large portion of their beach in the past few months.
Yes, they came in on Friday to do a preliminary study of the situation, and one of the things that they're pinning their assessment on is a groin at one of the major resorts here in Hopkins on the northern end that is causing or keeping some of the sand from moving in. So that is one of the major things that we think may be a factor that is causing the erosion. But they said that there might be other things that is contributing to the present situation. So we are waiting for them to give us a final conclusion as to what to do and where to go from there.
Is there any kind of maybe measures that you can do right now to maybe slow down the process?
Well, there's a few things we're doing. We're putting sandbags along the edge of the beach to slow down the material that's being lost. The beach is eroding less because the water line has come up to where all the coconut trees are and the root system's working. But now the trees are starting to fall in, so we're actually roping up the trees, trying to shore them up, build little boxes of sand around them to keep them alive, and we'll hope to slow it down that way.
With time quickly running out, Minister of Tourism Manuel Heredia Jr.'s intervention was sought.
My understanding is that a certain area was allowed to put a jetty. But I believe that there was not planning, there was not much consultation. because when you do these things, you have to look at the entire length of the area and to see if your neighbors or so have the resources to do what you are doing. But definitely I believe that we have to take a serious look as to what is happening in that area and make sure that the neighbors are not affected drastically or that serious erosion doesn't continue to, because it is really something that we need to put a lot of attention. And definitely, even though it is not my area, even though probably I might say doesn't have to do too much with tourism, but beaches are future tourist destinations, no? So definitely we have to take a close look at that.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.